Hello, everyone. It's Magical Mom Laura, and today we're going to go over the pros and cons of the Disney Fantasy. The Disney Fantasy was launched in 2012. It has around 4,000 passengers, and its home port right now is in Port Canaveral, which is where we sailed out of. The Atrium statue is Minnie Mouse, and on the stern are Dumbo and Timothy. This was my ninth Disney cruise, one more, and free Palo dinners. Woohoo! This is our third New Year's Eve cruise in a row. We love cruising on New Year's Eve, especially with a little one. So it's my husband and I and our 7-year-old daughter, and we went on a 4-night cruise out of Port Canaveral on New Year's Eve on the Disney Fantasy. This was my very first time on the Disney Fantasy. The only ships I have left are the Destiny, which we have booked, and then all the way over in Singapore, which is like a 24-hour flight for us. So I don't know if that's going to happen. The last ship would be the Disney Adventure. So let's jump into the pros. Number one, the lobby atrium. It reminded me of the lobby atrium of the Disney Treasure, which is probably my favorite of all the ships. And this is probably my second favorite lobby. It has warm jewel tones. The design is Art Nouveau, and it has this beautiful peacock chandelier that carries down into the rug. Like I said, we were there on New Year's Eve, so we still had the Christmas decorations out and also a gingerbread house. One of our traditions is to get a picture with the lobby statue, and I really love the Minnie Mouse lobby statue. Number two, the pool deck. Of all the Disney cruise ships, this is our favorite family pool deck. The Fantasy and then its sister ship, the Dream, has the same exact family pool deck with the funnel vision. So you have the movie screen there. In the very front, you have Donald's pool, which is a 5-foot deep family pool. So it's deep enough to swim in, and then it has a little area on the side if you want to hang out for the parents or if the kids are watching the movie. And then behind that is Mickey's pool, and it's about a 2-foot deep pool for younger children. And that's also a fun one, even for my 7-year-old daughter to hang out. The pool deck on the newer ships, the pools are just smaller and spread out, and the deepest pool is all the way in the back where you really can't see the movie all that well. And then the older ships, the Wonder and the Magic, their pool is very deep down. So if you're sitting in a lounge chair, you can't keep an eye on your kid in the pool. You can't see them. So this is by far our favorite pool deck. It definitely gets busy on sea days and there's no shade. But if you have a little fish in your family who loves swimming, it is our favorite pool deck. Number three, the Midship Detective Agency. We absolutely love this. My daughter is 7 and loves mysteries, and we were on the Dream 2 months before this. It was our second time on the Dream, but the first time she was 4 years old and she came down with a horrible cold, so she wasn't up for playing it back then. But we spent so much time on our solo trip on the Dream playing it, and then she continued it this cruise ship as well. My husband and I took turns taking her around and doing the Midship Detective Agency. This is nice because it's not connected to your phone. On the Wish and the newer ships, you have to use your phone to do it, and we had issues with that on both the Wish and the Treasure. So this is like a card, I guess it's like a QR code or something system, and they also have a Muppets version as well. So much fun for the kids, and you get to see the ship. Number four, the Frozen show. This was, like I said, my ninth cruise, and it was the first time I had seen the Frozen show. They actually have it on YouTube, and we've watched it there, but live, Broadway, in person, just can't be beat. And the actress who played Anna was incredible. One of the best comedic actresses I've ever seen. She was so funny and also just such an amazing actress where I teared up, I think, like 4 times. And I absolutely love this show. I probably like it more than the Moana show on the Disney Treasure, which is also amazing. Number five, the Nautical Decor. I just love the classic four ships with a nautical decor, not only on the outside, but throughout the inside of the ship. The hallways, the rooms are themed around the different Disney movies on the newer ships. So they're getting away from the more nautical decor in the rooms and the hallways. I just love the nautical decor. It's like a classic cruise ship, and I enjoy seeing it on the four original ships. Number 6, the cruise director. His name was Jimmy. I've never had a cruise director stand out to me like Jimmy did. He was amazing. He was funny, engaging. He seemed to be around more than any of the other cruise directors. And he really added a lot to the cruise, more so than any other cruise director on any of the Disney ships I've been on. There was one on a Royal Caribbean ship. He said like Bing Bong, and he stood out to me. But I really liked Jimmy and thought he did a fantastic job. And I knew his name, where I don't know if I know the names of any of the other cruise directors on any other Disney ship. Number 7, the Meridian Bar. This is an adult only, very nautical themed bar at the aft of the ship. It's in between the adult only restaurants, Paolo and Remy. And they have this beautiful bar, and then they have two decks to see that beautiful aft view. We did go there. Our last cruise on the Disney Dream, my husband and I spent every night there. But this cruise was just so much more busy, so we weren't in the bar as much. And it was like the shows, New Year's Eve deck party, pirate night party. So I think we just went there once, but I think it's a highlight of the dream and the fantasy. Number 8, there is mini golf on the top deck in the back of the ship. So that's a fun activity for families to do. Number 9, the glass elevator. This is a small thing, but for some reason, my daughter and I just love these glass elevators. They had them on the Royal Caribbean ship, but we are on the Dream twice and the Fantasy our first time. And the front two elevators, which have a dedicated button to use, have these beautiful glass elevators where you can look over the lobby, and then there's surprise little hidden details on the upper decks. Now let's jump into the cons of the Disney Fantasy. Number 1, there are no dinner shows. I think this is a big miss for a Disney cruise and for a cruise line catering to families. They have Crush on Animator's Palette, which is my least favorite of the Animator's Palette. It's hard to hear him and actually does not keep the attention of the kids, I don't think. On the other ships, you have the Frozen dinner show, the Coco dinner show, the Lion King dinner show. On the older ships, the Wonder and the Magic, they added Rapunzel's Royal Table, which was amazing. We saw that. And then we haven't seen it, but on the Wonder, they have Tiana. I find it to be a huge miss on the Dream and the Fantasy, and a big con that there is not a dinner show. Number 2, this is an older ship. While Disney does an amazing job of keeping their ships looking beautiful, they're constantly painting and cleaning and updating. It does make a difference when you go on newer ships like on Royal Caribbean or on the newer Disney ships like Wish and Treasure, like we have recently. The dream and the fantasy are beginning to show their age and they're a little outdated. Even though I love the nautical decor in the cabins, the newer ships have so many nice amenities with the improvement on the tubs in the bathroom and the nightlight and the storage. Number 3, Europa, which is the adult area. I was not the biggest fan of this area. We went there for a wine tasting, and it was in a room. Honestly, the room looked like it was like a brothel. It was very tacky. There was like a carousel. I don't know. I found the whole thing a bit tacky. We went in there for a drink at the carousel. I think on New Year's Eve when our daughter was in the kids club. We should have went to the Meridian. I just didn't care for it. It was you walk in and it's like tacky, and then you walk around and it's like wavy to get back, and the layout's so confusing. And yeah, I just didn't care for Europa. And the last con, number 4, the adult area. I think the best adult area would be the original ships, the Wonder and Magic, and then the newer ships, the Wish, Treasure. And then this would be my least favorite adult area. I would have to say, though, we rarely use the adult area, so it doesn't affect us very much. Our daughter loves to be in the pool, so if we are going to go to the pool, we're going to have our daughter with us. But there have been times when I've snuck away to the adult area for an hour or so to read and relax. This is a weird adult area. It's split up. So there is the adult pool, and then there's a deck where everyone can go, and then another adult area above that. So kids tend to be in this adult area more. It's not as private and on its own. Satellite Falls is a weird thing they don't get. It looks nice, but when you actually use it, it's weird. It's like these falls that come down and you sit back and the waterfall goes over your knee. So like you can't get a Kindle in there because it's gonna get wet. And the chairs aren't that comfortable. So I would prefer like a pool. I think they should change it and do like a infinity edge pool back there because it's a beautiful area overlooking with sea views. And yeah, I just don't get it. This is not my favorite adult area on the Disney ships. That's it for the pros and cons of the Disney Fantasy. We truly had a wonderful cruise. I would do the Fantasy again. We absolutely loved it. I think I like the decor of the lobby a little bit better than the Dream, but otherwise, I don't see a big difference between the two ships. Both of them are amazing ships, and you can get pretty good deals on them with all of the newer ships coming out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You're having a magical day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe.